For thousands of years, mankind has been searching for an answer to a great question. How could a great philosopher 2,400 years ago reveal something that has puzzled minds to this day? A civilization with technologies beyond time. A city whose streets were paved with gold and whose people knew secrets that are unimaginable even to us today. But overnight, everything was lost. The city disappeared, its people were destroyed, and no one saw them again. This story is about a city called Atlantis, a civilization that Plato spoke of years ago. Is it just a myth, or is it a truth buried in the depths of the ocean? Today, we travel back in time together. We enter one of the most complex mysteries in history. What we know, what we don't know, and what we may never know. Are you ready? This is the beginning of a journey you will never forget. That this is not a story, but a warning. Long ago, when the world was still full of gods and myths, the great Greek philosopher Plato spoke in his two enduring works, Timaeus and Gorgias, of a city that was beyond anything we know today. Atlantis was a land of boundless wealth, boundless knowledge, and an invincible army that existed thousands of years before any known civilization. But this power is what unexpectedly and mysteriously wiped this civilization from the scene of history. Plato claimed that the city existed 2,000 years before his time, and that its people were more advanced than any civilization today. They were unparalleled not only in science and engineering, but also in their mastery of the forces of nature. Timaeus begins with an explanation of the origin of the world and points to the story of Atlantis as a warning. In a nutshell, Plato reveals more details about this lost civilization. Concentric rings of golden temples and a power that is hard to imagine even today. But the big question is, was Plato telling the truth from the depths of history, or was this story just a myth? Perhaps the answer to this question is hidden in the silent oceans. But Atlantis was ruled by 10 rulers, children who were half human and half god. At their head was Poseidon, the god of the seas. Poseidon built a city whose streets were paved with gold, silver, and bronze. It was generally designed in the shape of a large circle, with a series of concentric circles radiating outward from the center of the city. These circles were arranged in a neat and precise manner, each covering a specific level. Throughout the city, there were statues that symbolized strange people and creatures. These creatures were actually guardians of the temples of Atlantis, who had supernatural power. In the center of the city, there was a huge statue of Poseidon, showing him riding a chariot pulled by winged horses, and next to it was the palace of the ruler, a huge and magnificent building whose walls were made of original metal, a mysterious and shining metal that is no longer found in the world. But the power of the rulers was beyond the brilliance of their palaces. Each ruler had a spear called a trident, which symbolized their power and connection with Poseidon. Legends say that the ruler's spear was not a weapon that was only used for war. These spears had the ability to control nature, the winds and waves of the sea. But one spear was the most dangerous of all, the golden spear of Poseidon, which could shake the earth and turn the oceans out of control. This amazing weapon was a symbol of the ruler's absolute power and his control of the lands of Atlantis and even the fate of humans. It is said that this spear was made of a strange and unknown metal that was resistant to all weapons and powers, and the tip of the spear, which according to many accounts was made of a stone similar to crystal or Atlantean crystals, was able to absorb cosmic energies and transform them into destructive force. With each blow the ruler gave it, a huge and ruthless force erupted from the tip of the spear that could destroy enemy armies and even shake the earth. The Atlanteans had achieved new science and technology that used a type of huge crystals with extraordinary properties that not only provided energy for their city, but also gave them the ability to control the weather, move the earth, and even steer their ships without the need for wind. The advanced science of Atlantis has been illuminated during the archaeological excavations where crystals with internal textures called the Atlantean crystals have been discovered.
These crystals, which were kept in the heart of temples and tall towers, could store the energy of the sun and the moon and release it in a short moment. By using this technology, the rulers of Atlantis had endless power over their lands so that no enemy dared to approach them. But that's not all. It is said that this mysterious power originates not only from nature, but also from a kind of superhuman knowledge. Some believe that this knowledge was transmitted to them by unknown beings who were either ancient gods or aliens who came to Earth from the skies. The endless power of Atlantis was so great that they could conquer distant lands without a physical presence. It is said that the spear of the ruler was a symbol of this power, a weapon that could use this energy to destroy enemy armies and move waters. But the danger of these crystals was something that even the Atlanteans themselves underestimated. This immense power came at the cost of their own destruction. Atlantis was destroyed overnight, but how? Some legends say that this destruction was the result of excessive use of Poseidon's golden spear. The rulers had become proud of their power, and instead of protecting the city, tried to dominate nature and wage war with the gods. But this pride and greed aroused the wrath of the gods, and on the night of the incident, a storm arose from nothing. Winds that shook the earth with their power and waves that rose to the heights of the mountains. It is said that at that very moment, the earth began to crumble beneath the feet of the people of Atlantis. The mountains split open, and the rings of the city, which were symbols of order and glory, were swallowed up one by one in the oceans. And this civilization suddenly fell from the earth to the depths of the sea. Legends say that the golden spear of Poseidon is still buried in the heart of the oceans, and the power that could change the world again lies dormant in the depths of the waters. Is this a warning? Or are we just on the verge of discovering a truth that is better left hidden forever? Atlantis fell, but its stories still stand. Many consider this story to be just a myth, a creation of the brilliant mind of Plato. But evidence has been found that can explain them. The volcanic eruption of Santorini 3,600 years ago that destroyed the Minoan civilization bears many similarities to Plato's narratives. The island's concentric rings, the advanced technology of the Minoans, and their sudden disappearance had led some to consider this civilization a real-life version of Atlantis. Underwater excavations in areas such as Bikini near the Bahamas have uncovered strange stone structures that appear to be the remains of a lost civilization. These structures, known as the Bikini Road, have sparked speculation about their connection to Atlantis. Satellite images of the Atlantic Ocean showed lines that bear an uncanny resemblance to city streets. The remains of colossal statues in the area also draw attention to the existence of Atlantis. Whether myth or reality, Atlantis is a mirror of ambition, power, and the fate of humanity. A civilization that was left to the ashes of time at the peak of its progress due to pride and greed. Perhaps Atlantis is a warning to us that in the modern era, with its many advances, it is still vulnerable to the forces of nature and the power of the unknown world. Now, what do you think at the end of this mysterious adventure? Did Atlantis really exist? Could a civilization of this magnitude simply have disappeared into history? Write your thoughts to us in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey into the secrets of Atlantis, support us with a like. And if you are not yet a member of our channel, press the subscribe button now. Thanks.